follow the right Wabbit. Well, hello there, and another video from me. Just a quick one tonight, and I'm going to make them quicker overall. So this is going to be about a possible pump in May. We have got some eclipse dates coming up: April 30th, 3 days time, and May the 15th. So here is what Crypto Bully Bear Decoder thinks. He's an awesome decoder. I literally love his work, and I can't recommend highly enough. If you like a little bit of decoding, something a little bit different, he's all over it. And some really good info there. But here he's got, he's listening to Zach Rector talk about moon cycles, and I'm going to play you this little clip with a little interpretation at the end, with what he thinks that one of the latest Simpsons episodes is trying to tell us.
New moon, and that's going to be a solar eclipse coming in on April 30th, and then next month, May 16th, is going to be the full moon, a lunar eclipse. So just like what happened in November and December of last year, remember, the whole market, Bitcoin, everything topped out in November, and then crashed, 40% liquidation event in December, back-to-back eclipses. Last time around, it was the opposite. It was lunar eclipse in November into solar eclipse in December.
Okay, this is Zach Rector. Okay, that's his name. That's the video. Go watch the.
So yeah, basically, so what he then kind of what Zach's kind of getting up to is what his interpretation is. Basically, back in November, we got to where were the prices? So this was like a top in the market here. And there was the first eclipse here at the top of the market. And at this date right here is where, around about where the other one happened as well. So you see that the parity between the differences there, 135 XRP down to 59 XRP. It's a big drop. Now, what he's saying is, I don't exactly know when the dates were, but it must have been around about here and here. He's saying that on the last one, the eclipses were round the other way. Okay, so these two eclipses, the partial eclipse and the total eclipse, were round the other way. So perhaps what if it is this predictable, what we could see instead of a top to a bottom between those two eclipses is a bottom to the top. Bottom, maybe from what, 60 cents? Maybe lower. A bottom to the top. That would be pretty cool. Somewhere there. And what would you reckon? The same sort of gain? I wouldn't say no. 135 XRP kind of would then look a bit like a W, which Paul has been tweeting out recently. So yeah, that's how I would interpret what he's saying there. So instead of a top to a bottom, we're going to get a bottom to a top with these two eclipses. Now the question is, do we dump a little bit further before we do? But have a look at this next part.
Video there, but this gentleman here.
Just saying that he likes Zach Rector a bit. Let's get to the interesting bit. Right, so this is where it gets interesting. Hang on.
G is going to be crazy at the end of this month, the beginning of May. This is part of the Simpsons called a monorail.
So that's a full eclipse. Anyone want to switch seats, he says. And the monorail powers down. I find it really interesting. Is, the switch and the powering down, are we going to see a little bit of, power issues perhaps coming around the full eclipse, potentially, or are we going to go from the partial to the full, which is what I was saying, wasn't I, just a second ago? Or is this just symbolic for the market's going to have a downturn and then the lights come back on, and the train the train goes absolutely like a rocket. So that would kind of be suggestive. I mean, I think because if we look here, the partial eclipse is only a partial solar eclipse visible from the southeastern Pacific Ocean. However, on the 15th, we get the total eclipse. This eclipse is visible from North America, etc., etc. So if you were going to take the Simpsons literally, you would think, oh, actually, perhaps this doesn't look like any kind of partial. It looks like a full eclipse. Very much like Paul's here. I mean, it's pretty similar, right? Pretty similar. So the question is then, in which case, if we're looking at we're not going to get an up until the 15th or around that time. What happens before? Are we going to complete a nice fall down or just range in this area? That is the question. There are some people who think it's going to go down more. Who knows? We'll find out. But onto the decoding. I'll go as quick as I can. So what I find interesting, right, is at this time where I've been personally waiting for May the 12th. And I'll tell you why. There's two reasons. This guy here, Decoding with Cody, did an XRP decode. He thinks it could be a new all-time high on May the 12th, or just a big pump or something like that. He has a document that goes with it. I don't know where I got that from. Maybe it's at the bottom of this video here. Let's have a look. Nope, it's not there. How on earth did I find that? I think someone shared it with me. Sorry, Cody, if you're listening. You're not listening. Let's be serious. Anyway, it's a really cool decode, and it breaks down why Tiberium is like XRP or the 1589 25 in there. Take out the 589, leaves you with the 125s, like 12.5. So he's kind of making some assumptions, but some very good, very, very, very good links to that date. In regards to Tiberium. So that was one thing. But prior to that, I was already aware that on the May the 12th, 2021, the Methuselah Foundation were gifted 43% of the Dogelon coin, Elon. They were gifted 43%. They now control that much of it. But they promised that they would not sell any for exactly 12 months. So 12 months is coming up on the May the 12th. Now, if I were to be thinking of charts, okay, if this is the partial eclipse and this is the full, the total eclipse, then I would be thinking, right, well, perhaps the Elon people would want to sell at the top of the market, wouldn't they, rather than the bottom? So that made me a little bit suspicious, not suspicious, but curious. But even more interesting. So obviously we've got those two dates. It does look good for a pump around about the 12th of May. I was actually saying all along, I think it could be a good selling point to be the 12th of May. And obviously came along this decode. And then I find it interesting that the Clever mainnet, I do own some Clever. They've just done a 3-month locking migration to their mainnet. They want you to lock all your coins for 3 months and you get 100% APR. That's a good deal. Very tempting. And also Nexo, if you know anything about them, they're recently offered a 6-month lock-in for up to 12% of your XRP. Now, that seems really, really good. But during that period of time, because we're so down in the market, you'd expect some pumps. You'd expect some pumps in the market. They know it's coming. They want to capitalize on you giving them their your XRP. You know, it's not your keys, not your crypto kind of thing. Do I ever envisage the scenario where cyber attacks and regulations ever lose you your XRP if you are holding it onto one of these sites? I don't know, but it was a risk last year that I decided to forego, and I took all of my XRP off of Nexo because it's very clear the message is coming from Mr. Paul. Hold your crypto tight and you make sure you hold it. They're the messages that have been coming through loud and clear from Musk, from Schwartz, from Poole, ever since last year. So thank you, Nexo, but I'm going to decline this. And I know I've got friends earning very, very well off of it, and they love the site, but they don't think like I do, and it's my risk. If I don't want to earn any more, fine, I don't care. But I do find it suspicious that they're giving these extra incentives to hold your crypto for a period of time, when quite feasibly we could be seeing a pump coming in the near future. Okay, I think that's it. This is as much as you need to be bored with. What I will say is long-term 2023, the timeline, the one we're all talking about, I don't think it ends until early part of 2023, potentially somewhere around about there, okay? And we'll just have to see what happens. But long term, you want to be holding your XRP for as long as you can on your ledgers, all right? That's it. Love and peace to you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Just be happy. No negativity. Push it all away. Raise your vibration. And we got this. A good life coming to us. All the best. See you soon.